Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of Did Jesus Exist? Now, anyone can write a book inspired by another book and use the same character, but that doesn't mean that the character is real, which I'm sure people who don't believe Jesus is real would use to help prove their point. So, let's look at some sources that are not Christian sources that talk about Jesus. If you can't prove that someone who has the biblical reputation of Jesus with sources not of his word, then the entire foundation of Christianity would fall apart, as it would be based on a lie. But I know his word is the truth, as there are at least 7 sources that are not Christian-based that talk about Jesus. There are Jewish sources, but keep in mind, Jewish people do not believe Jesus was the Son of God, as they believe he did not meet the criteria for it, hence making it a non-Christian source. In addition to that, the people who heavily persecuted Jesus were the Jews. I'll devote each video to one source and one final video, concluding the series with a grand total of 8 videos. I highly encourage anyone who watches these to verify the sources and see for yourself the proof that Jesus existed. For this first video, I bring to the court's attention the Babylonian Talmud. It's 63 books of legal, ethical, spiritual, theological, ritual, and historical insight. This was written over centuries, and the part that talks about Jesus was written during the Tanaitic period. A particularly significant text is in Sanhedrin 43a, where it talks about Yeshu, also known as Jesus. Quote, on the eve of Passover, they hanged Yeshu the Nazarene, and an announcer went out in front of him for 40 days, saying, he is going to be stoned, because he practiced sorcery and enticed and led Israel astray. Anyone who knows anything in his favor, let him come and plead in his behalf. End quote. Or for the person saying so. But not having found anything in his favor, they hanged him on the eve of Passover. There's the end quote. What does this source say about Jesus? He existed. He was hanged on the eve of Passover. He performed sorcery, like the miracle of returning sight to the blind. He led many people away from legalistic Jewish teaching, and the Jewish leaders were plotting to kill him. To summarize, this is a source from the people who hated Jesus as a person and hung him. Why would these people hate someone and document someone being hanged on the eve of Passover if he didn't exist? Well, that concludes this first source, and my next video will be on the historian Josephus and his book called Antiquities, so stay tuned for that and have a wonderful day.